Welcome, dedicated aspirants, to a foundational exploration of a subject that is not merely a topic of study, but a cornerstone of public health and national well-being in India. Today, we embark on a comprehensive journey into the heart of India's food safety ecosystem, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, more commonly and powerfully known by its acronym FSSAI. This institution represents a monumental shift in how the nation approaches the integrity of its food supply, moving from a fragmented multi-level regulatory system to a unified science-based and modern framework. Understanding FSSAI is not just a prerequisite for passing an examination, it is the very essence of the professional life you aspire to lead as a food safety officer, a guardian entrusted with the health of over 1 billion people. The creation of the FSSAI under the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006 marked a watershed moment in the history of food legislation in India. Before its inception, the landscape was cluttered with a myriad of laws and regulations, such as the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act of 1954 and several other food-related orders, which often led to confusion, overlapping jurisdictions, and a lack of cohesive enforcement. The FSSAI was established to consolidate these disparate laws into a single, robust statute. This consolidation aimed to create a single point of reference for all matters relating to food safety and standards, from manufacturing and processing to distribution, sale and import. Its primary mandate is ambitious yet clear: to lay down science-based standards for articles of food and to regulate their manufacture, storage, distribution, sale and import to ensure the availability of safe and wholesome food for human consumption. For you, the future food safety officer, the FSSAI is more than just a regulatory body. It will be your guiding star, the source of your authority, and the framework within which you will operate. Your daily responsibilities, from conducting inspections of food business operators to collecting samples for analysis and educating stakeholders, are all direct extensions of the powers and functions vested in the FSSAI. A deep, nuanced understanding of its structure, its functions, and its underlying philosophy is therefore non-negotiable. It is this understanding that will empower you to make informed decisions, enforce regulations effectively and justly, and ultimately fulfill your critical role in safeguarding the health of the community you serve. This introduction will lay the groundwork for that deep understanding. This initial part of our deep dive serves as a crucial orientation. We will set the stage by introducing the FSSAI, its profound importance for national food safety, and the specific reasons why mastering its intricacies is paramount for your success. We will explore its vast scope, which covers the entire food chain in what is often termed the farm-to-fork approach. We will also touch upon the scientific and legal principles that form its bedrock, its role in fostering awareness, and how this knowledge will be structured to guide you effectively on your path to becoming a competent and confident food safety officer. Consider this the beginning of your immersive training, a foundational briefing before you step onto the front lines of public health protection. The significance of the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India extends far beyond the pages of legal statutes and into the daily lives of every single citizen of the nation. At its very core, the FSSAI is the designated guardian of public health, a sentinel standing watch over the nation's food supply. Its importance is rooted in a fundamental human right, the right to safe and nutritious food. In a country as vast and diverse as India, with a complex food supply chain involving millions of producers, processors, and vendors, ensuring this right is a Herculean task. The FSSAI provides the necessary structure, standards, and enforcement mechanisms to tackle this challenge head-on, making it an indispensable pillar of the country's public health infrastructure and a key contributor to its overall socio-economic development. Unsafe food poses a grave threat, leading to a spectrum of foodborne illnesses that can range from mild discomfort to life-threatening conditions. These illnesses not only cause immense human suffering, but also place a significant burden on the healthcare system and lead to substantial economic losses due to reduced productivity. The World Health Organization has consistently highlighted the global burden of foodborne diseases, and India is no exception. By establishing and enforcing science-based standards for contaminants, pathogens, allergens, and additives, the FSSAI works proactively to prevent these outbreaks. It creates a level playing field where all food business operators, regardless of their size, are held accountable to the same stringent safety norms, thereby mitigating risks before they can manifest as public health crises. Furthermore, the role of Fssai is pivotal in building consumer trust and confidence. When consumers see the Fssai logo on a food product, it serves as an assurance of safety and quality. This trust is not built overnight. It is the result of rigorous surveillance, transparent standard-setting processes, and consistent enforcement actions. By mandating clear and accurate labeling, including nutritional information, ingredient lists, and manufacturing dates, the Fssai empowers consumers to make informed choices about the food they purchase and consume. This transparency is crucial in a modern market where processed and packaged foods are increasingly prevalent. It fosters a culture of accountability within the food industry and encourages businesses to prioritize safety and quality as key competitive advantages. For the Indian food industry, the Fssai is not just a regulator but also a facilitator of trade and innovation. By harmonizing Indian food standards with global benchmarks like those of the Codex Alimentarius Commission, the Fssai helps Indian food products gain acceptance in international markets, thereby boosting exports and strengthening the economy. Domestically, clear and uniform regulations reduce ambiguity and create a predictable business environment, encouraging investment and growth. The authority also plays a supportive role by providing technical guidance and promoting best practices, helping the industry to innovate and improve. In this dual capacity, the Fssai ensures that the pursuit of economic growth in the food sector does not come at the expense of public health. For those of you on the path to becoming a food safety officer, the study of the Fssai is not an academic exercise, but a direct preparation for the immense responsibilities that await you. Your role as an FSO is that of a frontline enforcer, a direct implementer of the policies and standards meticulously crafted by the authority. You are the bridge between the high-level mandates of the Fssai and their real-world application in kitchens, factories, and markets across the country. Therefore, a superficial knowledge of the Fssai is insufficient. A deep, granular, and practical understanding of its every facet is an absolute imperative. This knowledge forms the very foundation upon which your professional competence, authority, and effectiveness will be built. Consider the practicalities of your future duties. When you step into a food processing plant for an inspection, your entire checklist, your methodology, and the legal basis for your observations will be derived from Fssai regulations. When you identify a potential violation, your ability to issue a notice, recommend a penalty, or initiate further legal action will depend on your precise understanding of the Food Safety and Standards Act and its associated rules. Without a thorough grasp of the specific standards for microbial limits, permissible additives, or labeling requirements, you would be unable to perform your duties effectively. Your credibility as an officer and the integrity of the entire enforcement system depend on your mastery of these details. Moreover, the Fssai's structure and functions dictate your professional interactions and reporting lines. Understanding the organizational hierarchy, from the central authority to the state-level commissioners of food safety, is crucial for navigating the administrative landscape. You must know the role of the scientific panels when a complex technical question arises, the procedures for drawing and sending samples to accredited laboratories, and the protocols for initiating a food recall in coordination with state and central teams. This organizational awareness ensures that you can operate efficiently within the system, escalating issues correctly, and collaborating effectively with various stakeholders, including other government departments, industry associations, and consumer organizations, to achieve shared food safety goals. Ultimately, your deep understanding of the Fssai is what empowers you to be more than just an enforcer. It enables you to be an educator and a facilitator of change. When you can clearly explain the scientific rationale behind a specific hygiene practice or the public health implications of a labeling violation to a small restaurant owner, you are more likely to gain voluntary compliance than through coercion alone. This educational role is a vital part of fostering a culture of food safety. By internalizing the mission and vision of the Fssai, you transform from a mere regulator into a true advocate for public health, a trusted resource for both the industry and the public, and a vital agent in the Fssai's overarching mission to ensure safe food for all. One of the most defining characteristics of the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India is the sheer breadth of its mandate. The Fssai's regulatory oversight extends across the entire food chain, embodying the farm-to-fork approach. This comprehensive scope recognizes that food safety failures can occur at any point, from cultivation to consumption. For aspiring food safety officers, understanding this jurisdiction is fundamental to grasping your future responsibilities. The journey begins at the farm. Fssai regulation at farm level focuses on pesticide residues and veterinary drug residues. The standards set have a ripple effect, encouraging good agricultural practices and good animal husbandry practices. This initial control point is critical, as final product quality links to raw ingredient quality. Ensuring safety at the source is the first line of defense against contaminants entering the food supply chain. From the farm, oversight intensifies as food moves into processing, manufacturing, and packaging. This is where significant FSO work will be focused. The authority has detailed regulations like good manufacturing practices and HACCP that operators must follow. These cover plant design, machinery hygiene, process controls, and packaging materials. Your role: audit these facilities, ensuring compliance and genuine commitment to preventing physical, chemical, and microbiological hazards. The journey continues through storage, transportation, and distribution, critical control points where safety can be compromised. Fssai guidelines cover temperature maintenance, preventing cross-contamination, and warehousing integrity. A failed refrigerated truck or pest-infested warehouse can ruin entire consignments. As an FSO, surveillance extends to these logistical links, maintaining safety until point of sale. Finally, Fssai scope covers retail and food service sectors, large supermarkets, restaurants, and street food vendors, ensuring hygiene standards complete the protective circle to the consumer's plate. The authority and effectiveness of the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India are built upon a formidable dual foundation: a robust legal framework, and honestly, an unwavering commitment to scientific principles. These two pillars are inextricably linked, with the law providing the power to act and science providing the rationale and direction for that action. For a future food safety officer, understanding this bedrock is essential, as it underpins the legitimacy of every regulation you enforce and every decision you make. The Fssai is not an arbitrary body. It is a creature of statute and a champion of evidence-based policy, and your role is to uphold these foundational principles in the field. The legal bedrock of the authority is the Food Safety and Standards Act, 2006. This single unifying piece of legislation is the primary source of all power and responsibility for the Fssai. It repealed and replaced 8 older, fragmented food laws, creating a modern, streamlined legal architecture for food safety in India. The Act outlines the establishment of the Fssai, defines its composition, and details its extensive powers and functions. It defines key terms like food, adulterant, and unsafe food, and establishes the duties and liabilities of food business operators. Critically for you, it also lays down the provisions for enforcement, including procedures for sampling, analysis, inspection, penalties, and prosecution. A thorough working knowledge of this Act and its subsequent regulations is, honestly, the FSO's primary tool of the trade. Complementing the legal framework is the Fssai's deep-seated reliance on science. The Act itself mandates that the Fssai's standards must be science-based. This means that decisions are not made on a whim or based on popular opinion, but are the result of rigorous scientific risk assessment. The Fssai convenes various scientific panels and a central scientific committee comprising eminent experts from diverse fields like food chemistry, toxicology, microbiology, nutrition, and biotechnology. These panels are responsible for evaluating scientific evidence, assessing risks associated with various hazards, and providing independent advice to the authority. This scientific engine ensures that the standards you enforce are credible, defensible, and aligned with international best practices and the latest scientific understanding. This fusion of law and science manifests in every aspect of the FSSAI's work. For example, when the FSSAI sets a maximum residue limit, or MRL, for a pesticide in a vegetable, that limit is not an arbitrary number. It is derived from scientific data on toxicology, the safe level of intake for humans, and agricultural practices, meaning the amount needed for effective pest control. This science-based limit is then given legal force through a notification under the FSS Act. As an FSO, when you take a sample of that vegetable for testing, your actions are governed by the legal procedures in the Act, and the subsequent analysis compares the sample against the legally binding, scientifically derived standard. This seamless integration of law and science is what gives the food safety system its strength and integrity. While the core functions of the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India are centered on setting standards and enforcing regulations, its role in the modern food ecosystem really transcends that of a traditional watchdog. The FSSAI has evolved into a dynamic catalyst for positive change, actively working to build a comprehensive food safety culture that permeates all levels of society. This involves moving beyond mere compliance and focusing on proactive capacity building, consumer empowerment, and strategic initiatives that foster a shared responsibility for food safety. For an aspiring food safety officer, recognizing this broader, more collaborative aspect of the FSSAI's mission is crucial for becoming a truly effective agent of public health. A key pillar of this catalytic role is the emphasis on training and capacity building for food businesses. The FSSAI understands that many violations, especially among small and medium-sized enterprises, may stem from a lack of knowledge rather than willful negligence. To address this, the authority launched the Food Safety Training and Certification, or FOSTAC initiative. This large-scale program provides certified training to food handlers, supervisors, and owners across the entire food value chain on specific aspects of food safety and hygiene. As an FSO, you will encounter FOSTAC-certified personnel in the field, and promoting such training initiatives among businesses in your jurisdiction will be an important part of your proactive educational duties, helping to prevent problems before they arise. Simultaneously, the FSSAI invests heavily in empowering the most important stakeholder in the food system, the consumer. Knowledgeable and vigilant consumers are honestly a powerful force for driving up standards. Through large-scale public awareness campaigns like the Eat Right India movement, the SSAI promotes messages about safe food, healthy diets, and sustainable food habits. Initiatives like Clean Street Food Hubs aim to upgrade the safety and hygiene of street food vending, while programs that encourage food fortification address micronutrient deficiencies. These campaigns use a variety of media to reach the public, providing them with the information they need to demand and choose safer and healthier food options, thereby creating market-driven incentives for businesses to improve. Furthermore, the FSSAI acts as a facilitator of innovation and a promoter of best practices. It collaborates with academic institutions, research bodies, and industry associations to encourage research and development in food safety. It recognizes and rewards businesses that demonstrate exemplary standards through various awards and certifications. By creating benchmarks for excellence and promoting a positive narrative around food safety, the FSSAI encourages a race to the top, where businesses compete not just on price, but also on quality and safety. This forward-looking, collaborative approach complements its regulatory functions, creating a holistic ecosystem where continuous improvement is encouraged, and food safety becomes an integral part of the business ethos, rather than a mere regulatory hurdle. As we conclude this introductory overview, it's essential to outline the path forward in our collective exploration of the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India. This entire essay is designed to be more than just a repository of information. It's structured as a comprehensive guide, a roadmap specifically tailored to the needs of an aspiring food safety officer. Our objective is to, deconstruct the complexities of the FSSAI into manageable, understandable segments, equipping you not only with the knowledge required for your examinations, but also with the practical insights needed for a successful and impactful career. The journey ahead will be detailed, systematic, and focused on application. In the subsequent parts of this deep dive, we'll move from this broad introduction to a granular analysis of the FSSAI's internal machinery. Our next immediate step will be to dissect the organizational setup of the authority. We'll examine the leadership role of the chairperson, the diverse composition of its 22-member governing body, and the critical importance of its scientific committees and advisory panels. Understanding who makes the decisions and on what basis they are made is fundamental to comprehending the FSSAI's operational logic. This structural knowledge will provide context for the regulations and directives you will be tasked with implementing on a daily basis. Following our look at the structure, we'll plunge into the core functions of the FSSAI. This section will be the heart of our study, exploring the three main pillars of the authority's work: the setting of food standards, the provision of scientific advice, and the operational duties of licensing, surveillance, and enforcement. We'll break down what it means to set standards for products, contaminants, and labels. We'll explore how risk assessment is conducted and how the FSSAI supports the government with technical data. Most importantly, we'll detail the enforcement mechanisms that form the core of your future role, from inspections to recalls. Finally, we'll bring all this information together and focus it squarely on you, the student and future FSO. We'll have dedicated sections that explain the specific roles and responsibilities of a food safety officer, explicitly linking your day-to-day tasks to the broader FSSAI mandate. We'll conclude with key takeaways and a series of practice multiple-choice questions designed to test your understanding and prepare you for the competitive examination format. This structured approach ensures that you not only learn the material, but also learn how to apply it. Let us now proceed with this systematic journey, building your expertise step by step to master the essentials of the FSSAI.